Hi guys! So today I thought I would do something a little different. I don't usually do sit down style videos because it's not really the nature of what I've done so far. Anyway, so I don't actually have like a fancy sit down and special equipment. I've got this like 1940s couch and open windows. So hopefully it doesn't look atrocious. I'm not too sure about the flip color. Trying it out, but I don't know if I love it. Anyway, I wanted to do a video of Lily's and actually all of the kids' birth stories. Those will be in separate videos, obviously. I just wanted to record and capture and kind of share my birth experience with all of them. I may touch a little bit on the pregnancy leading up to, but mostly just the birth. And yeah, so I'm just gonna jump right into it. Lily was my fourth birth. She was born at home in water. So it was an at-home water birth. It was attended by a midwife, my fabulous midwife, Heather. She has been present for the birth of my last two children. I originally met her when she was one of the attending midwives at my very, very dear friend Ashley's home birth. Yes, 8 years ago. And so I met her there. My son Alex was about 3 months old at the time. And so the next time I got pregnant, we had kind of decided for various reasons to do a home birth. You want to sit with mommy? Yeah. In the video? For various reasons with Jacob, we had decided to do a home birth. And so it was such a good experience that we just obviously opted to do it with Lily. So just to start out, she was born, I don't even know, honestly. I can't keep track anymore, like 7 days, 8 days before her due date. She was born August 22nd, and I believe she was due around the 30th, I don't remember. What? So she was born August 22nd. The day that she was born was awful. So the day that Lily was born, well, let me start with my birth story. So with Lily, I woke up probably about 9 a.m. or so. I was already planning to go and have a pedicure and get breakfast with my friend Jenny. And so I woke up and I was feeling a little bit crampy, and I was like, well, you know, sometimes when you have to poop, you can get crampy. Please don't touch that baby. And so I was just kind of crampy. I got up and I went to the bathroom like I normally do when I get up in the morning. And Lily, please stop. It's been 2 years. She's 2. That's what's going on here. Anyway, I got up in the morning and I was just a little crampy. I went to the bathroom, and when I had finished going to the bathroom and I wiped, I noticed that I had some bloody show and I had lost my mucus plug. So that was really different from all of the other times that I had given birth. Those have all been very, what they call precipitous labors, and so there wasn't a whole lot of like the normal progression happened, but obviously it just happened really fast. So like, you know, losing my mucus plug didn't stand out. So anyway, I had some bloody show and I had lost my mucus plug, and I was feeling crampy, like very crampy, but not having regular or intense contractions. And so I just decided I was going to go on with my day and just kind of see if this was it, or if you know, it was just ramping up for labor, because as many people know, losing your mucus plug means nothing. It can just grow back. But the bloody show was a good sign of cervical change. So I had, Jenny came over as planned. She picked me up and we drove. Jenny came and picked me up as normal, or like we were planning. And we went out to breakfast, and while we were eating breakfast I was a little crampy and I was feeling a little bit like I mean I was fine. I ate and but I kind of felt off. I was having contractions. They were not painful. They were more intense than a Braxton Hicks contraction, but still not so much more intense that I was definitely 100% sure, like, yes, we're doing this today. But, and I mean, they were about 10 to 12 minutes apart, but not super intense and not lasting for a horribly long time. They were lasting maybe 30-40 seconds. At this point, I had already messaged Shelly, my doula, and my very dear friend, and I also messaged Ashley, and I was chatting with Ashley on Facebook. I think it was Facebook Messenger or something. Anyway, we were chatting back and forth, and I was just like, well, you know, here's what's going on, and so we were talking, and then Jenny and I went to get our pedicures. Well, we were sitting in the chairs getting our pedicures, and I was thinking, okay, I mean, these are fairly regular. I think we might be doing this today. So we decided after the pedicures that we would go and walk around Walmart and just kind of browse and do some stuff, you know, get some walking done. Because this is where the terrible day comes in. Because when we were in getting our pedicures, while we were in there, it got gross outside. Like, there were some wildfires burning. I don't even remember where these ones were. But anyway, they were close, and so we kind of live in like a valley. So the smoke blew into the valley, and the air was awful. The air quality advisory issued was actually unsafe. And so, especially for sensitive groups, asthmatics, pregnant people, young people, I'm 2 out of those 3. So oh, thank you. We weren't supposed to be, like, I wasn't supposed to be outside, but I needed to walk. And so we walked around Walmart. And again, the contractions didn't really change. They didn't get more intense. They stayed very regular, but I didn't feel like they were doing a lot. But we had walked around Walmart for a while, and I told Jenny, you know what, I'm just gonna go home and I think I'm gonna take a nap. I'm kind of tired. It's not super intense right now, and if I take, you know, I'm gonna get a nap just in case this is it. So we come home, and it was probably about noon or 1, and probably closer to 1. And I messaged my midwife. I had talked to her a few times in the morning, and I was just like, hey, I'm gonna take a nap. I will let you know if anything changes, because she had to drive from about 45 minutes away, you know, with traffic and whatever else. So I was just like, hey, I'll let you know. I'm not real sure what's going on right now. Lily, please don't shake the camera. But I'll let you know. And so I was just like, you know, I was gonna lay down and take a nap. And at this point, I hadn't really said a lot to my husband. I asked him to set up the birth tub and just make sure that it was ready. We had it in the garage and everything, and I had already like taped the liner and the sheets and everything in place, and so it was ready. I just needed it to be in our room. So he went ahead and brought that in for me, and I just kind of laid down. I let my doula up. I let Shelly know, you know, kind of what was going on. She was out with her mom that day, and it was funny because the night before we had gone to movies in the park. At the local park, they show like big movies and stuff, and we didn't actually finish the movie because they had technical difficulties. So we brought all the kids back to my house, and we were just talking. We watched a movie, and I was like, you know, Box Trolls, actually, I think is what they were watching, and then we watched like the first 10 minutes, and I was like, nope. It freaked me out. I don't like that movie, so we didn't watch it. Anyway, I had joked to Shelly, and she's like, I was like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? And she's like, well, I've got a date night. And I said, oh, maybe I can ruin it for you. I'd really like to have a baby. So that was kind of a funny story. So I took a nap. When I got up from my nap, the kids were just kind of like, they were restless. It's okay, Lily, you open the door. He's gonna come in. The kids were kind of restless. I had called my mom. So my mom said, well, let me bring over some movies. You know, and I'll just sit and watch movies with them if you want to, you know, so you can rest or relax or whatever. And maybe, you know, we were thinking, hey, if grandma comes over to watch, ooh, yeah, you fell down. If grandma comes over to watch movies, it'll be really fun, and they'll get distracted, and they'll, you know, enjoy themselves or whatever. So my mom came over. I got up, and I was kind of sitting on the birth ball in the bedroom, folding laundry. You know, just kind of dinking around. And by this time, it's about 5, 6 o'clock. I'm folding laundry, and I asked him, I'm still having contractions, but again, they're not super painful. They're not really regular. They're about 6 or 7 minutes apart, which I know freaks some people out, but they're like 7 minutes apart. And they're not super uncomfortable. They're lasting about a minute, but they're not super uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I asked him to go up to the store. We live about a quarter of a mile from the Walmart, so I said, can you just run up to the Walmart and get me some things? Reggie, Lily. I said, can you just run up to the Walmart and get me some things? I need some I needed some orange juice and I wanted some cottage cheese and some cantaloupe and things like that. I'm like, can you just go get those things? And my mom's here, it's fine. At that point, I had texted my friends and I was like, hey, you know, things are kind of picking up, like they're lasting longer, they're not painful, but they're getting closer together, and just kind of letting them know where things were at. And then Tim left. And I don't know if it was because, like, I don't even know. Tim left, he was at Walmart, and while he was gone, things started getting a little uncomfortable. They got close together. I timed him. He was gone for maybe 25, 30 minutes. They moved to about 4 minutes apart. I was timing them and he hadn't come back yet, so I called him, and I often call him from the store and I'm like, oh hey, I forgot this, run back. I called him and he answers, and I said, hey, what are you doing? Where are you at in the store? And he said, I'm at checkout. Do you want me to get out of line? I'm like, no, I need you to come home. I need you home, like, as fast as you can get home. And he's like, well, do you need me to drop stuff? I'm like, no, don't get the stuff. I want the stuff. Just come home. So he finished checking out and started heading home, and I texted my doula and I said, Shelly, come now. I need you to come now. I need you to come over. Things are getting uncomfortable and I need you to come over. And I asked her to get a hold of my midwife. So I asked her to get a hold of my midwife, and I was like, hey, I need her here right now. Well, so fast forward, my mom gets a little bit, she's getting a little nervous. She's like, is anybody coming? Like, what's going on? And because things progressed really fast. Like, it went from like 7 minutes apart, lasting a minute, not very uncomfortable, to 4 minutes apart, lasting a minute, uncomfortable, very uncomfortable. I wouldn't say painful, very uncomfortable. In a matter of like 20, 25 minutes. So Tim gets home, and Shelly got there not very long after Tim. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, Shelly might have pulled it before Tim. I just don't know. I can't remember. I was having a baby. Anyway, so we get to, I was kind of just, the kids were in the living room watching movies and stuff, and so I was just kind of hunkering down and in my bedroom on the birth ball, and you know, Shelly was there kind of talking me through it. Well, so we decided to fill up the tub, and you know, I'm like, well, while we're waiting for the midwife, I hear the plane. While we're waiting for the midwife and you know, everybody or whatever, I'll just go start filling up the tub. And so I was in the bedroom and I was just kind of like laboring on the birth ball, you know, rocking back and forth and whatever, just trying to be comfortable. And Shelly and Tim got the hose ready and started filling up the tub. Well, about the time they finished filling up the tub, I'm on the outside of the tub and I'm leaning over it. I'm on the ball and I'm just kind of leaning over it, hunkering down, and I was kneeling on the floor. I wasn't on the ball that much. I was kneeling on the floor and I was kind of hunkering down, and my water broke. Now I started to panic a little bit because I've had 4 babies. I know, at that point 3. I knew what to expect and I knew that I could do it. The airplane's gone. I knew that I could do it, but nobody was there. Like, I didn't plan to have an unassisted birth, and nobody was there. So, and historically, when my water has broken, that means the baby's like coming, like the baby's coming out. So my water breaks and I'm like, great, okay, well, here's what we're doing, I guess. And you know, I had been texting my sister, kind of like, you know, keeping her up to date. And I must have sounded really nonchalant the whole day because she didn't know that I was in active labor until I was like, hey, baby will be here any second or whatever. I said something and so she called my mom and was like, what? Which I thought was kind of funny later. But anyway, so I'm having this baby. Nobody's here. I'm starting to panic. And then I hear the front door. And I'm thinking out loud, or not thinking out loud, thinking out loud. I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, my midwife's here. Thank the Lord my midwife is here. And then I hear my mom greet my father. And you know, I heard him say, oh, well, you know, the air was really bad, so I decided to stop by here instead or whatever. And I'm just the whole time thinking, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, why did it have to be Daddy? Why can't it be Heather? And then my dad goes to close the door and I hear right behind him, oh, hold on, right behind you. And it was my midwife. And I'm not a weepy person, but I almost came to tears. So she comes in and I've told her, you know, my water already broke. I want to get in the tub. So I crawl in the tub. And I don't know exactly what the timeline was. It was sometime after 7 p.m. when Shelly got there. And Jenny had arrived at some point. I want to say Heather got there at about 8:30. Maybe close to 9. So she arrived. They started setting up and doing, you know, whatever they're going to need or anything. And then they just kind of hung out, which is their jam. They were hanging out and they were just kind of waiting to see what was going on. I got in the tub and I remember having, from that point, maybe 3 or 4 contractions that were really, really, like, because after my water broke, it got intense. They were really intense. They were really painful. And I remember, the way I remember it, it was literally like the same contraction. I told Heather, I think the baby's crowning. And she said, okay, well, let's take a look. It was one push. I started having the contraction and I was doing the low moaning, like labor sounds that you make, you know, the just trying to get through it. I was doing that and I said, I can't do this. And as I said that, I then went, I think the baby's crowning. It was all like one contraction. I was like, I can't do this, I can't do this. I think the baby's crowning. And so I kind of like flipped over. At that point I was hanging over the edge of the tub. I flipped over so that I was on my back and kind of leaning back like this. And Heather came around and she said, oh, yep, baby's crowning. And this baby right here, this baby was in fact crowning. Her head came out up to, you know, where they come out to the first push. And she was trying to turn. She was trying to flip over and look up. And that's not comfortable. I could feel her turning in my pelvis. Like I could feel her head turning and I was just like, what are you doing? So Heather kind of gently just held her little cheek and kind of kept her there. And it was like 2 pushes and she was out. So she was born at 9. I'm an awful mom. I want to say 9:43 or 9:47. I don't remember. I think it was 9:47. Anyway, it was sometime after 9 on the 22nd. So from start to finish, I was in labor. Well, I woke up at like 9:30, so about 12 hours, I will say. Hard labor was from about 7:30 to 9:30, so about 2 hours. I'm guesstimating because I don't have hospital records that wrote this all down for me. So she was born. When she was born, she was very bruised. I have pictures of her just after she came out that I will insert here. Where she's very bruised. You can see the bruising and the discoloration. So we elected to do the vitamin K shot. And by the next morning, she looked not bruised at all. She looked amazing. She was my biggest baby. She was 9 pounds, 3 ounces when she was born. And she was like 19 inches, we'll say. 19 and a half inches. I actually don't remember exactly because all the kids were either 19, 19 and a half, 19 3/4. So I don't remember which one she was. I can look and I'll find out. But yeah, so she was born very easy, very uncomplicated, very sweet. When she was born, Jacob and them were still awake. They were on the couch with my parents, with my parents and just hanging out. And when she was born, she cried. And Jacob, he was 3, or just about to turn 3, came running down the hall, screaming, oh, there's a baby! And he ran in and saw her and he was so excited. The other kids were, I think Alex might have been there while I was pushing. I don't remember. He was asleep when Jake was born. I want to say he was in there, or he might have, no, I think he wanted to sit with my mom. Emma was there while I was pushing and she saw Lily come out. Then she got nervous because there's some blood when the placenta starts to detach and things like that. And so she wanted to go out and she went out and sat with my mom after that. But they were there when she was born. And they were all very excited. And that is the simple story of how this baby came to be. Interesting tidbit. We have always called her that one baby. Well, she goes by Lily Pants and I know I'm picking at you. I'm picking at you. It's a mommy's prerogative. She goes by Lily Pants and lots of other things, but we've called her, is that you? Yeah. We've called her that one baby since she was like 2 days old. Again, attributed to Jacob because he came running down the hall, jumped on the couch and ran across the couch when Tim was holding her when she was about 2 days old, screaming, "Daddy, give me that one baby," because he wanted to hold her and snuggle her. And so we started calling her that one baby. And it just stuck. She's been that one baby for the longest time. You know, oh, give me that one baby. Oh, that one baby needs a diaper. And that's just what we called her. And then we called her Sassy Pants. And Lily Pants. Little Lily Pants. Yep. That's her story. Can you tell everybody thank you for watching? Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And we hope that you enjoyed our story. Watch, check out our other videos that I will have uploaded. That will be, it's okay. I will upload, I know that's your sucky. I will upload birth stories for my other 3 children if they're not up already, and you can check those out. I did have my two hospital births, 1 induction, and 1 other home birth. So yeah, feel free to check those out. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Subscribe down below so that you don't miss any videos when I upload them. And thanks for joining us. Have a great day.